and it's one of the nicest in the world. It's a little bit short, but it's also pretty upbeat. Corrie is with Sherwood Community Services. Sherwood is an organization that serves the needs of individuals with disabilities in Snohomish, Skagit, and Island counties. So it's a pretty special group of people who are afforded this resource. Corrie's been with Sherwood since 2018, and she's going to share a little bit of the history, the programs, and the connections that her organization has. One of the things I liked about Corrie's bio is it says her personal motto is "Life's too short to be grumpy." So I think she's going to bring a smile to our face through her good heart and her good service. So Corrie, do you want to take over and share your organization with us?
Thank you, Bob. Thank you for that introduction. Thank everyone for allowing me the space today. I really appreciate it. So to be mindful of your time, I did record portions of the presentation that I will show you. If at any time you would like to take yourself off mute, I'm happy to be a resource. There will also be a question and answers at the end. May I have access to share my screen, please? May I have access to share my screen, please?
Dale.
You asking me something?
Yes. May I be able to share my screen, please?
Yeah, stand by.
Okay.
Let's see here.
At the top of the page, Dale, is a green thing on her, should be on her screen also, that says share screen. A green button up with next to mute and the video.
Yeah, it's on the bottom of my screen.
It
Right
looks
on the
like it's on
bottom.
the-
Could be on the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, just drag your mouse over it.
Click that share screen. There you go. Nope.
Well, I think she
Dale,
has
if
to
you
do
try
it.
clicking
Corrie, I
on your
think it's up.
profile.
Yeah, you can.
Corrie, it's up to you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
Yeah, I
she's
think
gotta
you have to drag
permission
your
to do
mouse
it.
down and hit the share screen.
Yes, thank you. It says host disabled participant screening sharing. So I just need the permission so I can click it.
Dale, if you click on her picture, the little bubbles, I think that's where it is. I don't have host privileges right now.
How you doing with it, Dale?
I'm sorry. I wish I could help.
Well, I'll make her a co-host. Now she can do whatever she wants.
There we go. Ready now. Okay.
Perfect. Corrie, are you muted?
I am playing the recording right now.
Oh, okay.
Okay, is everyone able to hear me?
No, we're
I
not
hear
hearing
you.
Oh, you're not hearing the recording. One moment, maybe I need to share computer sound. That might be better. Core mission that organizations like Sherwood can continue to change lives. I'm excited to be here. My name is Corrie West, and I'm an investment and partnership associate. My role is to raise community awareness of the services that are available for individuals with disabilities, as well as the funding arm. Please feel free to take yourself off mute at any time, as well as use the chat box feature. Before I begin, I want to ask you, how many of you have heard of Sherwood? What's your connection? Does anyone have a connection that they would like to share? I know, Matt, I appreciate you giving the shout out for Sam Reed, who's on our board. No.
I've just learned about you, so I'm excited that you're here.
Wonderful. All right, I'm going to continue.
Fine.
For those of you who don't know about Sherwood, yes.
Oh, go ahead,
Oh.
Yola.
I was just going to say, Corrie, about 7 years ago, I got involved with Sherwood at Cascade Valley Hospital with maybe 8 years ago with a volunteer young man in high school. His name is James Wilson. And he has now been employed at Cascade Valley Hospital for 5 years.
Wow.
And a delight to have on our staff. He is mildly autistic, but when you teach him how to do something, he does it very, very well. And the team at the hospital, he works in the dietary department. The team included his mom for several staff meetings just to make sure that they knew how to engage with him and you know, calm him when he had issues. And they just him, and he adores them. So it's been a great experience.
Oh,
He's
that's
an
a
awesome
wonderful
kid.
testimony. Does he have an employment specialist now? No.
No, not in the last 2 years. And he lives in a group home. He's been a very good success story.
Oh, wonderful. That's great news.
His parents are wonderful parents also.
Parents are really delightful.
Yep.
Oh, it's so good to have a good support system. Okay, I'm going to continue. I'd like to share with you. Sherwood was founded in 1957 by a woman named Hazel Venables. Hazel had a daughter named Leslie who had physical and cognitive delay. At that time, it was preferred and recommended to go to an institution. That way you're surrounded by your own peers, you have all of the resources that you need, and it was believed that you could not learn. So Hazel listened to the doctor. She drove 85 miles and dropped her daughter off. She came home, and a few days went by, a few weeks went by, and Hazel said, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I can't write to her, I can't call her up on the phone, and she can learn, and we're gonna figure it out. She went and picked her daughter up and brought her home. 7 other families in our local area heard about what Hazel did, said, I don't know what you're doing, Hazel, but I want to be part of it too, because my family member, my friend, they can learn. What they started at that time was a little red schoolhouse, a little green schoolhouse, and there could have been a little white one. As per typical for nonprofits, they moved around to a couple different locations, including church basements. In 1972, the special education system was brought on. Hazel did not want to duplicate what the school system was already doing, which is why we have 2 separate programs. If you want to consider Sherwood's programs, picture being the bookends of the school system. In the last 4 years, we have gone from serving barely 500 to over 900 in both programs annually. Ultimately, our goal is to reach over 1,000 by 2022. While many have been impacted by COVID-19, Sherwood is of no exception, but we are remaining optimistic about what the future holds. We still anticipate reaching over 1,000 combined by 2022 due to the number of folks that graduate and are born each year with a disability. The first program that I will discuss is the Early Intervention Program. Early intervention is for kiddos birth to 3 for any kind of therapy a child might need. This age is most important because this is when the greatest brain development is happening, is the first few years of life. In this program, we are focusing on assisting with reaching milestones. Children do not need a diagnosis in order to receive therapy. We also utilize a parent coaching model. That way, families can incorporate therapies into their daily routine. We're teaching parents and guardians how to continue those therapies when the therapist isn't there. We also work with medical insurances, and families only pay a copay. No child is ever left without receiving services. Therapies are done where the family is most comfortable. Typically, this would be the family home, where kiddos are surrounded by their own distractions and are learning to climb on their own stairs. If a family chose a public space, like a park, we would be accommodating. There was one therapy that I got to shadow on that left an impression. There was this kiddo that was born with very few abdominal muscles. And I don't know about you, but it's hard to get a 2-year-old to do crunches. It's hard to get me to do crunches. So The therapist had to get a little creative. And so what they did was bring bubbles with them. They laid the child on their back, blew bubbles, and challenged them to reach up and pop them. That way they were getting that range of motion and were able to work those abdominal muscles in a fun way. Only 5 years ago, we were serving just shy of 200 children. Our current number for this last fiscal year was 743. We attribute this growth to several areas like reaching pediatricians, general word of mouth like me being here right now, better technology, and unfortunately, the opioid crisis as well. All children benefit from early intervention. The biggest return on investment is getting to mom prenatally. 33% of the children at Sherwood reach their current milestones and graduate out of the program. That means that they're not segregated. The other 67% are much more prepared for next steps and are more independent as a result. Picture it this way. Every $1 spent on early intervention at Sherwood saves $7 through their education, which equals about $2.1 million saved for all children who graduate reaching their current milestones. Each year in Snohomish, Skagit, and Island County, there are 1,500 babies born with a disability who need services. Now, due to COVID-19, we have seen a 15% reduction in healthcare from families who have lost their job or don't have insurance to pay their bills. This does equate to a revenue loss. There has been an increase in hardship funds, and we anticipate this trend to continue for the next few years. Hardship funds are available for any families who find their copay a barrier so that no therapies go left without. We are projecting a $50,000 shortfall in the coming year, if not more. Referrals have also decreased. We are receiving roughly 50 referrals a month and instantly decreased to less than a dozen in April. Many families are also not seeking services for a number of reasons, such as job loss, not having their children around other children in comparison of growth and milestones, and looking for those potential delays. Many families are also not going in for their wellness checks right now. And many may not even know that virtual assessments and therapies are available. Sherwood is trying everything we can to do to raise awareness on services that are available. For example, we currently sent out mailers to families to raise awarenesses of teletherapies that are available. We sent mailers out to over 1,600 homes, which targeted families with children under the age of 3. We do know that more still needs to be done. Now, I'd like you to take a moment and think about what having a job means to you. What would it look like if you didn't have a job? For me, I have met many friends in my life through work and have new experiences like being here with you today. I have purpose, growth, and companionship. I'm also not isolated. People with disabilities want the same exact thing that you or I might want. We also have a vocational program. This is for anything in regards to getting or keeping a position. Consider writing a resume, applying for jobs, because that's certainly changed through the years, interviews, onboarding, and continued support. The ultimate goal of this program is independence. We also want to make sure that employees and employers are happy. We've had clients come back to us after a couple of years saying, you know, I work at Walmart, but I want more of a challenge. And so we reassessed and got them a job with full benefits at Valence Aerospace. Susan is also a perfect example of making sure everyone's happy. I asked her once, why do you like your job? What is it about it? And she's a janitor. And she said she loves making things safe. And it makes her happy knowing that when she makes things clean, she's keeping people safe, and that fulfills her. Right now, our unemployment specialists are also helping to navigate the unemployment system. As we are in unprecedented times, please take this opportunity to consider hiring someone with a disability. Many clients may not be seeking a full 40 hours a week and can come in for a few hours to complete certain tasks to help streamline your business. Annually, there are always going to be individuals with disabilities that are graduating, and we would love to see them graduate into a job instead of graduating to the couch. Now, I would like to share a video with you. There is a certain individual I'd like you to watch out for. His name is Dane. He is someone that I went to high school with, and he truly is this ecstatic and happy all the time.
My name is Lance Morehouse. I'm CEO here at Sherwood Community Services, and we provide services to children and adults with disabilities. One of our taglines is believing in abilities. And believing in abilities isn't just words, it really is the core of everything that we provide and stand for here at Sherwood. It's our culture, it's in every staff person that's out there providing services directly to people. At Sherwood, we believe in people's abilities. What that means to me is an infant that may be struggling to crawl, that with the help of a therapist gets to celebrate the child's first steps with mom and dad.
Raising a child can be a challenging endeavor all on its own. Adding in any kind of delay or diagnosis makes that all the more terrifying. Through our early intervention program here at Sherwood, we're really focused on giving parents the joys of parenting back. We want to empower them with tools to be able to engage with their child, to help their child get to all those firsts that are so exciting, those first steps, those first words. For us, it's really about that relationship with that parent and child. We're just such a small part of their journey. We really just want to set them up for a lifelong, wonderful experience with their child.
My oldest son, Caleb, was about 18 months at the time that his pediatrician determined that he was not hitting his milestones with speech. We had a couple of different options, and Sherwood stood out to us because of the fact that the therapist could come to our home, which is huge because as a parent, it's exhausting enough with the day in and day out routine, but to have you guys be able to come to our home was just, yeah, such a weight off my shoulders. I have 3 sons. Each of them have been in Sherwood's early intervention program. 2 of them are receiving services for speech, and 2 of them for occupational therapy. And it's just, oh my goodness, it's been such a breath of fresh air having you guys here in our own environment where everything is natural to them. And then just, you guys have become family for us. And it's, yeah, I can't imagine life without you guys. When I first found out about the delays, it was overwhelming. And so having people who are there as advocates is huge, and they're encouraging. The encouragement that I receive is great, and they're so good with the kids. We've seen great success through the program. My son Daniel, he was diagnosed with hypertonia at the age of 4 months old. His arms would extend back, his whole body was rigid, he wasn't hitting his gross motor milestones, he couldn't roll over. It was so, it's hard as a parent to see that and then feeling helpless. So to have the support and be able to move, forward through that was huge, and today he's made so much progress.
In our vocational services, we may be working with young adults just coming out of high school, or adults that have been looking for a job for a while and help them find a good match for them and for the employer.
I'm Chuck Merritt. I'm the service manager at Speedway Chevrolet and RV department. At first there was a little hesitation, but after that, he just fit right in. We spoke on the initial interview, and he was wearing a bow tie. He looked very professional. He was trying to be impressive, and he was. It's been very interesting with Dane. He's very vocal, and he's entertaining. With a lot of the employees just have really gravitated towards him. When he comes in, it's always a good high five.
What else do we do here? We wash the cars, and then what else?
Kiki.
Yeah, we get the gloves.
Yeah.
And then what else? Do we change the garbages?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Which one is your favorite? That one?
Yeah. All car.
You do all of them?
Yeah.
Do you go upstairs sometimes?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Woo.
At Sherwood, we never give up on people with disabilities. Thank you for believing with us.
May I ask what your take on the video was?
Well, Corrie, I'll go first. I was touched. I was touched to know that kids and families could have their services at home. One of my questions was going to be, where's your offices? But they're where the kids are, and that was pretty impressive. And Yola reminds me that we've had, Cascade Valley Hospital has had a long tradition of helping people who've had disabilities, and I think it's an admirable calling for you guys to be able to serve the community this way.
Absolutely, thank you. And that is an absolutely great question. All right, would anyone else like to share?
Yeah, thank you, Corrie, for that presentation so far. One thing that I was a part of at Gonzaga was I was a part of Gonzaga University Specialized Recreation. And I actually could go grab the shirt, but our main motto is celebrate ability. So the shirt, and I wear it around all the time, and it gets great remarks in that regard. So I'm happy that the CEO and Sherwood is embracing that, because that's truly remarkable and awesome, because that's what it's all about. So.
Absolutely, thank you so much.
Corrie, what is your area that you serve?
Yes, so we service in Snohomish, Skagit, and Island counties. For early intervention, the only area that we don't service in would be Everett, and that's just because there's other resources that are available, but we do partner with 11 different school districts.
Wow.
What are some of your major budget issues? Oh, go ahead, John. Go ahead.
Oh, I had the experience when I worked in a bank. I think somebody from the local high school in Marysville came into our office, and I volunteered to help this child out. And I think he brought more to us than we brought to him. And so I think this program's fabulous. Like the Chevrolet commercial or discussion there, just to smile every day, wanted to do the best that he could. And it was really inspiring. So I appreciate your program.
Absolutely, thank you. Thank you for sharing. Now, is everyone still able to see my screen? Is everyone able to still see my screen?
Yes,
Okay,
you're still
perfect.
on.
Okay.
But it's your picture right now.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and continue now. Actually, or did it stop screen sharing? Huh.
I think it stopped.
It looks like it. Let me fix that real quick.
There you go.
All right, now we're up and running. The reason I connect with the video and why I'm at Sherwood today is because of my brother, Jesse. Jesse, at the age of 4, had a really bad case of the chicken pox. I don't know about you, but I had them twice, and both times were less than 2 weeks. Jesse had them for a couple of months. It was the day after his 4th birthday that he asked Mom if he could have a cookie. She said, "Sure, they're your birthday cookies. You can have 2. He went to the kitchen, and that's when he had his very first seizure, and another, and another. He was medevac to Children's Orthopedic, where they quarantined our whole family, Mom, Dad, Jesse, and I, for about a week. And then they discovered that the person that Jesse contracted the chickenpox from was a carrier of encephalitis. That encephalitis caused enterovirus encephalitis. At that point, the doctor said Jesse will no longer walk, talk, or feed himself. This is what he is. He is a vegetable. As a family, this is devastating news. However, Mom had faith, she had hope, and she said, "You know what, we're going to figure it out." She called every neurologist, doctor, therapist, school district, anyone she could to assist. Many times it was like a revolving door at our house. And I don't know if I told you, but I grew up in Gold Bar. And I don't know if you know where Gold Bar's at, but it's out there, especially in 1994 when there's no internet. We didn't even have a phone recording. But Jesse needed help. He needed somebody. And Mom was there to provide that by finding those resources. One of the things she did that I always, as a younger sister, thought was unique was watching Mom put duct tape around their feet. Of course, they were wearing socks. And she would walk Jesse around so that way she could help teach his body what it was like to walk again. And that was something one of the therapists had suggested. For the next 5 years, we were in and out of Children's Orthopedic, working with the top neurologists in the nation. His doctor that he's had for many years now actually came out of Jerusalem to see 4 patients, and Jesse is one of them because he's so unique. Now the story gets better. Jesse is now 30 years old. He will be 31 on June 24th. He can walk, talk, and feed himself. He knows who we are. He knows how to pick on sister, let me tell you. And he has far surpassed what any of the doctors ever said he couldn't do. Jesse loves yard work. He loves lining cars up and doing any kind of gratifying work. Now, there's still good moments and bad moments. He still has seizures, but it's a lot better than what they ever said. Now, it was interesting, and I have to share this with you. I had started working at Sherwood, and it was about a month later that through a little bit of research and talking with some therapists that had been there for years, that Jesse actually received services from Sherwood, and my family had no idea what Sherwood was. We just knew that it was a therapist and that we were relying on anyone. It's a very lost and hopeless feeling when you don't know how to care for your family member. I want families to know that they have options and that they're not alone. In order for us to continue, we strive to make meaningful partnerships. We have what we call the Business Breakfast, and that is a non-ask event where we take an engaging look at how local employers can build a stronger, more inclusive workforce. We also have our annual Wine and Dine. It is the one fundraising event per year that we do that would have been held on March 20th and was canceled due to COVID-19. We also do dine-in events, for example, Buatai or Bruno's Pizza, and have also done change roundups. 20% of funding is from individual donors and those business partnerships. There are many co-branding opportunities like what you see here with the thank you and to the Rotary Club of Arlington. We do have exciting news at Sherwood. In the past 3 years, we have doubled in size to up to 60 employees. We have a growing staff in order to meet the needs of the population. We have diverse backgrounds with our staff as well. We have Spanish speaking, as well as American Sign Language, and services for the blind. We are looking to be as diverse as possible to represent our community. We are also part of 6 different chambers and several networking events to spread the mission of Sherwood. Last year, we were voted #1 nonprofit in Snohomish County. We are always looking for individuals who want to be a support and work with us and are open to new ideas. If you or someone you know would like to believe, please do not hesitate to reach out. My name is Corrie West. You can reach me at cwest@sherwoodcs.org or 425-375-4306. I can also put this in the chat box. Thank you, Arlington Rotary, for having me. Does anyone have any questions that I may answer?
So Corrie, what could we do to help? What has other Rotary clubs done, or the Chamber of Commerce's? Do they make donations? What kind of things do we do to help?
Right now, the biggest need that we're seeing is from COVID-19, and that would be for the hardship funds. So then that way families who are not able to pay for their therapies, that we're able to assist. So the $50,000 shortfall that we're seeing because of it would be our greatest need right now. And if you would like to be a part of it, we would greatly appreciate that.
Good. We will let the board talk about that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Corrie, do you work with Chinook Industries in Burlington?
We do have a good partnership. We do similar services them, and so we just pair well and are aware of one another's services.
Most of the Rotarians know Rob Martin that started that. He was a past district governor for us. Mm-hmm. And so there's a connection there, and so that's good.
Absolutely, yes. I know that Lance, our CEO, has had connection with him as well. I haven't met him personally, though.
Where's your main office?
We have a couple. Our main hub would be in Lake Stevens, the facility that Hazel actually created in the 80s. We also have a site in Stanwood, but most of our work, about 99% of it, is done in the family home or wherever the family's comfortable.
Good, thanks.
And right now it's at our home, so.
All of us.
Yes.
Well, any other questions? Well, Corrie, on behalf of the Rotary Club, thank you very much. It was a great program, well organized and nicely presented. And you're right, you're not grumpy.
No.
And Simona, I will turn it back over to you to bring the meeting to a close. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I think I saw Simona